Um,
Uh,
we are indeed back. We are indeed back for this post-match, guys. So many chances created. I was saying earlier, so many chances created, and and yeah, we find ourselves looking at this game. You know, with the amount of chances we created, somehow we lost it. We lost the game 2-1. Congratulations to Aston Villa. They had maybe we were saying in the watch along, maybe a quarter of the chances that we had, but they were just more clinical. And in the end, you know, we paid the price. I didn't want to say it during the game because I didn't want to jinx it, but I did say, you know, we created so many chances, not taking them, guys. I've seen too many of those games where when you don't take your chances, unfortunately, you allow the team that you're getting a better off the opportunity of getting back into the game. And they did that at half time, 1-1. And of course, the second half, they took the lead. And once they took the lead, I felt like they took the wind out of us. We'll let JP on. JP's live on the stage.
Hey
JP,
guys, how you doing, man? You
JP,
alright?
if any music comes on, I will, of course, mute you.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It's probably some in the background at a minute, to be fair. But
but go on, mate, tell us.
Miss Bentacle, as soon as he went off, that was a pivotal part of the game. That was um,
yeah,
Bentacle, right?
yeah.
pivotal part of the game.
In already a depleted side, we had to
But
lose another one.
but you know what? Out of the fact that we know we've got a bare 11, don't we? We've only
Yeah.
got a bare 11, and if any of them are out, then it has a massive impact on us. Um, Kind of the way we played. But today, I felt we actually
We tried, man.
played
We
all
gave it a
right.
go.
You
We
know,
gave it a go, JP.
I
We
I
just
thought
didn't convert the chances that we
without
created.
without our team, without our first team, I think that team that was out there today did all right. You know, we had some chances. We made chances. If we'd have took those chances, it would have been a different story. Yeah, but I, looking at that, I thought Hill played well in that first half. Like
Yeah.
he was quite happy with the ball. He seemed to take a player on. Like he did all right. I think Gio did all right. And Emerson at the back, he did all right. Like I can't fault him. I don't think. I didn't see what happened for their goal. To be fair, um, so I'll probably have to have another look at that. But out of the guys that were out there, to be honest, I can't say it wasn't as bad as last week. Whereas the
Yeah.
way we played last week, we literally scored against Wolves. God, not last week, Wolves last game. Wolves we played and we kind of didn't really do much. But today we seem to attack a lot, have a go at them, take the play to them and stuff. So kind of for the team we had out there, oh, I'm disappointed about the result. But you know what? That's Ange's style and philosophy that he wants to play going forward, and it will carry on, right? That's how he's literally going. This is what I can do with the players I've got.
Just to answer Terence, I don't need to learn anything. I'm fully aware where the issues are. I've been aware of those issues from when Conte was here. I was aware of those issues when Mourinho was here. And I've always said, and anybody here can back me, I've always said it, outside of our 11/12 players, our squad is not good enough. I've said it. I've said it many a
Agree.
times. Until I said, for as long as we got our 11/12 players available, I'm up. I'm for. I'm happy to go up against any team in the league. The moment that those part of those 11/12 players go missing for injuries or suspensions or whatever the hell else, which is what's happening right now, I knew we'd have problems. So I'm fully aware of that. At the same time, I look at this team and I say there's players in there that clearly not good enough for the Tottenham. But what I can honestly say, I felt that even the ones that I don't even like did what they could. Is it good enough? Ultimately, no. But they did what they could. We created numerous amount of chances in the first half. We just didn't convert. We didn't convert anywhere near the amount of chances that we created. If we did, we'd be talking about a win right now. Unfortunately, chances. You have to take your chances. If you don't, you pay the price. And ultimately, this is what's happened in this match right here, right now. We didn't finish the chances we created, and we paid the price for it. It's as simple as that. Do I know what the issues are? Of
If
course we do. We know the issues are. We all know what the issues are. Let's. We've been around. We're a bit long in the tooth. Beards are white, hairs are white. The ones that are showing, and like mine,
some are bald, some are
and
bald.
so we know where the issues are.
Been
Does the squad need improving? Yes, it does. But this manager is going to encounter the same problems that the others have had if we don't improve on the squad. It's year one under Postecoglou. I don't have a problem with Postecoglou or the way he wants to play, but the team needs to be massively improved and extended, expanded, and bettered. That's a given. I know this. To answer your question, but thank you for the comment.
year one, game 12, something like that, right, Iggy? So
Yeah, yeah.
one.
Um,
Well, I mean, you could say one transfer window, but was it really one whole transfer window?
Well,
Kind of
I'm
who
not ignoring
knows,
anyone. I
right?
know Elias is asking for a link. Eugene's asking for a link. I don't know where the link is, guys. I'm not ignoring your messages. I'm just trying to establish if Mari can send the link. Mari, if you can send the link to Eugene and Elias, if you can find them, my man. I don't know where to go and look for it, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, so JP, what was the atmosphere like or during the game? Like obviously we've got our headphones on, I can't really hear the atmosphere.
I think it was more frustration that the fact that we didn't take our chances, right? I think kind of the way the team applied themselves, it seemed like everyone was cheering them on, getting behind them and stuff. And like as you said just now, we know
Of course we know.
we know we don't have the first team. We know we don't have the players we want. It is literally 10 games or whatever it is into 15 games into Ange's era. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I don't slip down the steps.
Yeah.
Into Ange's era. But from what was out there, I think everyone was behind them. Now, like, I did have someone saying to me, can you imagine if that was like a Conte's kind of like a Conte's game of football? Everyone would have been kind of like moaning as hell. It's like, yeah, but it's also a different style of football, right? Totally different style of football. And the way it is, it just means the fact that we have to give the manager time. We have to give the manager resources.
Well,
We have
look,
to give
next
them. We
for
have to
next
give the
week,
manager.
JP. Next week we've got Bissouma back. Hopefully, we have Sarr back. Lo Celso, this Lo Celso.
He
If
was all
this
right
is
today.
so,
That
that's
was
Oh, he's gone.
he's gone.
Yeah, maybe it's the
I had some
connection. Connection inside the
maybe
stadium.
you had some connection problems. For those who asked for the link, I do not want to leave the StreamYard page to copy and send you because guys, I'm on the computer. I'm not on the phone. So I just posted
Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it.
because if I try to email and then copy and paste, then you're gonna completely lose me. So
Yeah. So now, all I was saying is like, what I don't want is the thing is for all the quality or the quality that some of those players do not possess in a team. I have to say this. I did see a team that tried. I did see a team that played for 90 minutes, that wanted, from minute 1 to minute 90, they kept going. It's not like they gave up or everything else. It's just it is what it is, guys. We're still playing with the same ingredients. Sorry, I'm gonna let Elias and Eugene on the stream. Big up, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hi guys.
Just to conclude what I
Hello.
was saying, and then I'll let our guests have their say as well. I was saying, guys,
because I haven't really
for
said anything.
for me, today's defeat, and I just want to focus on today's defeat. There's no point going on about stuff that we already know about the board and this and that and the other. We know all of that stuff. No point talking about that right in this moment. What I want to say about today's game is I saw a team that tried from minute 1 to minute 90. Is it a quality team? There were the squad players on the pitch. We know where we lack, what we have with the players that we do, how we lost momentum the moment Bentancur went off and Højbjerg come in. They're different players. We already had a depleted team. We saw Lo Celso played. If this is Lo Celso going forward with a better team around him, he'll be better as well. So I saw a team that tried right until the end. we couldn't make the changes because we had nobody else left on the bench but kids. So on that front, I have to say I can't fault the players for doing what they did. However, this is also the reasons I've said before, outside of the 11, 12 players, and I've said this when we had them available, I knew that if any of those players are missing, we will come unstuck, which is what's happening right now. Because today, really and truly, just on the chances alone, we, we should be looking at a win today, guys. But here we are talking about defeat. That's where I'm at. I want to know from you guys. I'm going to let Elias go first, and then Eugene, you say your piece.
Let me say something.
Sorry.
I got to step away for a second. My recap of the game, and sorry guys, I had internet problems. That's why I couldn't send the link. And so we gotta put it in the group chat before the game. This game is two things. Number one is you clearly see the style of play that Ange wants to play, and that's a good thing. You know, I use United as an example. The reason why they're frustrated with Ten Hag is because within year two of their project, you still kind of cannot see the elements of what type of football they're trying to play. The second thing, to bounce off that, here is the problem, right? We've had the chances today. Johnson, early signs, it's just not that good enough. But when we get the players to truly fit this system, this team could be a really, really good team going forward. But it's like Iggy said, we just don't have the quality. As you can see, Bentancur goes off, huge drop off with Hoiberg, and so when January comes, summer comes around, we're gonna have to back this manager. We're gonna have to. If we can back this manager, beautiful music can be made. Beautiful football can be, because today, right? The first 30 minutes were some of the best I've seen in our play. Said we couldn't finish our dinner. We just couldn't. We weren't clinical in the box. And then a big up to Lo Celso. He's bringing in that momentum that he had. He had a great game against Brazil, and today he really showed. Now is consistency. Are we gonna see you do that? Coming from the bench, because Maatsen is gonna eventually come back and take his place, right? And the thing is, Kulu, right? Kulu, I thought today is his best performance for me in the space in the middle rather than out wide. And so there's some positives to take out, but clearly I won't go to the defense, because it is what it is, and we'll go with it next week. It is what it is. It is what it is. Elias.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Most of the points that both of you just made. I think this game was a good game from the beginning. We missed a lot of chances in the first half, and that really costed us. But I don't know what kind of formation firstly we were playing. Like, who was the playmaker? That was one thing that we were questioning. I think on Sky Sports they were showing that Hill is playing the playmaker role, and then some lineups were showing it was Kulu. I didn't get it. Was it like a 4-4-2 or was it a 4-2-3-1? I didn't get that firstly. To me, it looked like very much like a 4-4-2 at times in the beginning, where Son and Johnson were playing up front. Kulu and Brian Hill, they were both the wingers behind them. Like, really, it was tough to find out that firstly, but the few things that I noticed in this game was, I think we really need a up front striker. I think, like, if we had someone like Cade, if we had someone like a proper number 9, I think we could have won that game easily. Like, not just easily, but I think we could have won that game 3-1, 4-1. That with that kind of scoreline, I think we are lacking that clinical that clinical performance against the net, in front of the net. Firstly, was
but Elias, the best chances that we had didn't all fall on. They didn't all fall to Son, and he missed them, which is why you're saying that we need someone like Kane. They fell.
I
players
don't blame
who...
Son. I'm not blaming Son for his performance today. The thing is that in a way, if you look at the whole scenario, Son is still a winger who is playing as a striker. You can't fully rely on him to play that full on striker role. He is still just a winger who is playing
I
that striker.
disagree,
He
man.
and
I think he can play that role really well. I think he's playing the role really well. And I think if those chances are falling to Son, he puts them in at the back of the net. I think he's a really good finisher. His finishing is not the problem. Today, the chances that we had as a team, they didn't all fall to Son. And when they did, he put it in the back of the net. Even the one that
but
rebounded
he
off
was
the
offside.
post, he buried it. So I'm saying that that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Believe me, it's not the issue.
I also think that the kind of balls that were given to Sun, they could have been better. Like there were at times you see that Kulu could
I
have
agree with
could have
that.
given,
That I
could
agree
have
with.
given like a straight pass to Sun, and Sun was on the path to the goal. But the
Yeah.
kind of balls he got were like the really tough ones as well. Like the kind of positions where he got the ball was really tough one. I think that was one thing, and another one when they gave the ball to Sun was the time that I think one was I think that Pedro Porro one, and another one was the Brendan Johnson one. I think
Yeah.
they could have taken that shot themselves rather than relying on Sun.
I agree.
Like I think
I agree.
that was seriously those few moments I was like, guys, you really need to take the initiative a little bit more rather than relying on Sun. And then that one was done by Brian Hill as well. He was relying way too much on Sun. I don't know. Like are we becoming that kind of team where we rely too much on our middle? I don't know, but I think we need to see a lot more initiative from the wingers a little bit. Firstly was that. Then the second thing that I would like to bring up is I think the Emerson experiment didn't work. I think I would rather have Dorrington in there. But the problem I think now I can feel
Let's
is
just say you want Dyer. That's all. Don't say Dorrington.
no, I don't want to say Dorrington. I don't want to say Dyer. I don't want to
You
go
just
there.
say you want Dyer. Nah, don't go there.
I don't want to go there.
Guys, just to remind, I'm just having this tune in my head. You know the song called Just Once? You know?
James,
I gave my best, but my best wasn't good enough, and it goes on and on again. So,
just once I gave my best,
yeah,
but my best wasn't my good enough.
enough.
Ingram,
And here we are back where we were before. So we keep going on and on and on. Guys, these
just
are the shitty players. These, like Iggy said, what are we going to do? The only thing we can sit down here now, right, is actually back Ange. That's all, right? Because unless Ange throws away all those players that were under the hands of Mourinho and Conte and can't play the Ange ball that he was. We weren't playing Ange ball, guys. We're holding ball in the middle of the field, going back.
No, I disagree. I disagree, Eugene. I disagree.
We had a couple of chances that went forward. The players made the wrong decisions. When they were supposed to shoot, they passed. Right? When they were supposed to pass, they shot. Guys, we've seen this with Spurs. Deja vu. We're going back to where we were. The most important thing, Ralph, the January transfer window is coming around. Give Ange what he needs. Get rid of what we don't need. Right? And like what we all know, we all Spurs fans know, right? We've been seeing this all this while. I didn't see Ange ball today. Ange balls were in glimpse, in portions. Once in a while, the truth. And to tell the truth, I was so shocked with Villa because Villa was just sitting back. What is Villa doing? They are like conserving energy and more worried about, I think, the midweek game coming up. Do they have a midweek game with Conference League or something? That's how I saw it, right? When we went up, they attacked, right? And every time they attacked us, guess what happens? They scored.
Guys,
That's
but
all.
one thing, Eugene, I'll say is I agree with you where you're coming from, but this lack of coordination. The problem also with the lack of coordination is coming from is the
No,
midfield.
and the worst part is, right, in the last 80th minute, we won rushing. We were down 2-1. We were coming out so slow. The ball was passed out, run around behind. What the fuck was happening? Sorry, guys. You understand? I was watching the game until I was just not watching the game anymore. Right? Because it was just boring.
I think the energy levels dropped. That's
Yeah,
in my
and the
opinion,
worst part, Iggy.
and we couldn't change it up.
Iggy, and the worst part,
five subs.
and the worst part is, Iggy, right? We put up so much energy in the first 60th minute, right? And we can't sustain it all 90th minute. And the worst part is, nowadays, games don't end in the 90th minute. It goes on. So
100, 105, 110, yeah.
Yeah, it goes on. So the thing is that we don't have the players to play Ange ball because they all can't do Ange ball. But Ange is stuck with them. What can we do? Right? I would rather we tried to play Ange ball and attack, and we lost 5-0. Because what I saw just now was lip it. It's like a limp dick. That's all. Right? That's so sad. But I don't blame Ange because we got limp dick players in our squad. That's all.
Yeah, this was a problem that we was having, guys. Even before Ange came on board, it's not like it's a problem.
Yeah,
It's just he's inherited that issue,
yeah,
and it's an
yeah.
issue. It's an issue that it's been long time. And the only reason why we're talking about this now, it was always there, guys, but we weren't talking about it because we had those 11 and 12 players that I've been talking about available to us to allow us. But the problem was just there. It was always there. It's always that. It was just there in the background, and thinking that it will come back to highlight
Yeah,
again once it comes to the forefront again. And it has done because of the injuries that we're picking up on a regular basis. So, and we've now incurred
yeah.
another one with
The injuries,
Bentancur.
the
Today was
suspensions.
massive. When Bentancur
Oh
got injured,
yeah,
that was a massive moment because it was just an area that we don't
yeah.
have a like for like, do we? We don't have a like for like for Bentancur. And with the
Iggy,
Suma missing and Sai missing,
We,
this is just another one,
yeah.
Just
Iggy, I want to bring up a point.
We don't have a like for like for Benton Core.
Bring up a
Yeah, and we
point.
don't have a like for Madison. So
Let me,
it is what it is.
let me bring up a point that Patrick brought up, right? And Patrick put one game a week, and that's the crap we come up with. Patrick,
No,
I don't know if you're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
up, but you do know it could have been 2 weeks, it could have been 3 weeks. We're missing Basuma suspension. We're missing Romero. We have injuries. No Madison was. I think we did the best that we could. I expected us to lose 3-1. Some people said 4-1, 5-1. Right? If we have a performance like this against Man City next week, I'll take a 2-1 loss and
I
have
think
it.
we might.
No,
But
Mari. The thing is,
I think
why I'm
we.
saying,
I think
Mari.
we will win.
We
Win back.
no. That's why I'm saying, Mari. If Villa came at us, right, we'd have lost 3-4-1, 3-4-5-0.
I actually
Villa just sat back.
it's both.
You know,
It's them not playing their best, but also we play better. Like I like it. It could have been worse, Patrick. It could have been
True.
much worse, and maybe that will be next week against City. So I mean, I'm not trying to have a go at you, but I just don't understand your point. 1 week, this is the crap that come up. This is the best we could do. This is the best we can do. The best. There's nothing better. Like we had Emerson Royale and Davies as our center backs. Like this is
They are both not natural center backs. Davis is a left back. Emerson is a right back. Like we didn't have a proper center back in the
guys,
back line.
we conceded goals. We conceded goals in a set play, right? And we conceded goal in where they, when they came at us, we sat back. We didn't push into them, right? And
next
that what Emerson was like 4 yards off the Watkins when he scored his goal. So I don't want to say. The only positive thing, right, is that Elias, we had Villa fans joining us today at the Mamak store, right? And when Villa won, he paid for our dinner. Oh dear. I know.
There are Villa fans in Malaysia. I didn't know.
Like I was saying,
Yeah, that's why they were Villa fans in Malaysia, guys.
like I said
Surprise.
before, there is nothing more that we can do. Because like I said, I predicted on Monday we were going to get pumped. That didn't happen. Didn't happen today. We still lost because we're not good enough. But we did the best that we can. And the only thing we could do is bring it into next week the best that we can. We'll pay a bigger monster that is Man City. It is what it is. But to say that, oh, we've been international break, a week off, and a dreadful performance, this is the best we could do. There's no Grealish coming off the bench for our team. There's no like like who's coming in for our suspensions? Who's coming in? We got Skip.
Romero is coming back, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
no, 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 no.
Romero's
Right?
He has not.
back.
He's not
Romero's
coming back for. No, he's
Romero's
not.
coming back for West Ham. So
Bissouma is coming back.
Bissouma is coming back. Sorry, yeah, Bissouma is coming back.
The only players that we're going to recover for next week are Bissouma and possibly Sarr.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but guys, I gotta make a move, right? Because I reached home,
buddy.
right?
Take
But
care, man.
have a good show, guys. I'll try to catch. Let me see if I still have the link. I'll try to catch it up when I get back upstairs.
No
But
worries,
to
man.
tell you guys, right? Like I said, we have to believe in Ange. We have to give Ange what he needs, right? Because what he has now, right? He's in, like what Iggy said earlier. He has inherited shit. So what do you expect from shit? More shit. So I guess that's all I can say. And as always, leave you out, guys. Take care.
Take care, man.
but
Take
the,
care, man.
but the thing is, like,
Big up, Eugene.
you already see reports that we're going to be creative, right? Lloyd Kelly, do you rate the guy? Like, honestly, like there's some rumors that say, all right, Spurs are in for Tony. They're gonna pay for Jimenez. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're just gonna go for the Lloyd Kellys. We're gonna go for a no name. Not to say that they won't pan out, but the no names for us don't usually pan out. Solomon, Johnson, right? Like Johnson, yeah, you were in positions, but you couldn't finish your meal. You couldn't like the quality. I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna like this, right? You're gonna like this, and I'm gonna say this. As a young kid, right? My dad, when we were shopping for furniture, you know what he would buy? The expensive Iggy, the expensive Italian furniture. The expensive Italian furniture. I used to tell my dad, just get any couch whatsoever. And my dad's like, you know this, when I get the cheaper option couches, they only last 3 or 4 years. The Italian furniture, it will last you 20 years, 25 years. It will even be passed down to you. I said, okay, Dad. You know, as a kid, whatever. Years go by, still mint condition. Our living room, furniture, Italian furniture, wonderful condition as new. Lasted beyond my dad passing away. It lasted. So finally, I sold it for a good price because I didn't have a house. I was living in an apartment, you know, and my mom's like, yeah, let's sell it. Right? You pay for what you get for. Not saying every expensive signing, because with Charleston is rubbish, you know, is not going to pan out. But usually the case, if it's not great scouting, it's you pay what you get for. You pay for what you get for. We make fun of all of Arsenal fans about overpaying for Declan Rice. But this year, he's panning out. He's been their best player, and they're top of the league. You pay for what you get for. And so I use that Italian furniture analogy in the sense of this team, we can never get to the pinnacle of the mountain if we continue to fool ourselves. Hey, we don't have to get paid for.
Unfortunately, Mari's shirt incurred its first defeat
lucky
today.
Chelsea.
So yeah, we tried, guys. We tried to see if we can.
I also wore my lucky hat. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work either. And as much as Elias wanted, listen, with problem with Dyer, mine isn't Dyer hate. I just see where the manager wants to go with this, and he wants to play this high line, and Dyer doesn't have the characteristics for two things: one, to play a back four in this team, and the second is to play a high line. He doesn't feature in any of the two situations. He might feature in the back five, in a back three, or in a back four if they played a lower block, a lower. But for the football we're trying to play, this is me not hating Dyer. This is me saying he doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the way in the way Ange sees and what he wants from. He tried last week. It didn't quite work out for him. And we now got to move forward. I don't know. Next week it might change all again because who could have predicted Ange Postecoglou starting 11 today with this team? Nobody predicted it. So it is what it is. I
Iggy,
listen.
Yeah,
I knew this question was going to come. What character does Emerson have? If we had the players available to us, he wouldn't be playing Emerson there. He wouldn't be playing Emerson at all because he clearly
fair.
prefers Poro at right back than Emerson. All right. He's just looked at that situation and thought, do I go with Dyer or do I go with Emerson? Those are the choices. And he picked one and he he went with
I'm not making an excuse. I just said we're not good enough.
yeah.
We don't buy quality.
But that doesn't mean to say you're right. That doesn't mean to say that Emerson's a much better player than Dyer, or it's just he decided he went with that.
Interesting fact. I did not know this. We equalized the Premier League record.
We've scored first in three of the games. We scored first in all 3 games and lost. So you know what? Whatever. Just a harmless potato.
Yeah, I mean. By the way, there was somebody saying that there was somebody in the chat saying that Brian Hill was really good today. No, he was not. Sorry, guys. I hate to break it to you. Brian Hill was not very good. Like whatever you're saying, you see more of Kulu in camp. But it's Danny's comments. Sorry, bro. I had to break it to you. Brian Hill was not good. You could see that yes, he lacks the finishing ability. He can only play with, I think, his strong foot. And nowadays, if you're a winger and you can only rely on one foot, I don't think you are ready for the modern Premier League era in this kind of intensity that Premier League requires. No, Brian Hill was not good. Kulu in cam, yes, I think when in the first half, Kulu, when he was playing slightly more central, he was reading the game a lot more well. But since Bentancur went off, he I think started occupying a lot more wider areas. Then I don't know, the formation changed quite a bit. He didn't look good to me, I think, towards the side. But yeah, Kulu in cam position may work.
He went back wide when he went back wide when who went off? I think it was Brian Hill went off, and then he went right, left, and then Lo Celso played in the middle. But with Højbjerg and Skip protecting the defense. But look, if you look at it, guys, from the start, albeit that we was surprised. We were surprised.
Big up.
We were surprised with the 11 that started. You got to look at it. It was a makeshift back four, a back four that have never played together, never. If you look at the midfield, it was a brand new midfield. No Sarr, no Bissouma, no Maddison. So that means that the 3 that played had never played before together. Kulu in the 10, Lo Celso first start of the season, I believe, and Bentancur just come back from injury. So you look at it, that's the middle part of the pitch have never played. Only Son, in the middle, has never played together. At the back, we only had the full-backs that have played in that position. Brennan Johnson, even Brian Hill coming in the team, he's first start of the season. So it was a very mix and match team put together that we decided to do something different to what we did say at Wolves. And that's the end of it. And if you break down the 3 defeats, and I said this earlier on, you break down the 3 defeats. We lost these 3 games for 3. Ultimately, the prime thing was because we haven't got our biggest players are all out. Romero, Van der Ven, Maddison, etc. But also, we've lost these 3 games for 3 very different reasons. The Chelsea game, we've lost it because for all the things that happen in just one particular game, the sendings off, etc. Because up until we had 11, we had enough. We could have won that game, but things changed. The Wolves game, we've lost that for different reasons than we did at Chelsea. We look at this game, we lost this one completely for different reasons than we did at Wolverhampton. So 3 defeats that cannot be compared. Normally, when a team loses 3 on a bounce, you look at the 3 games and there's a pattern that forms. But here, it's completely and utter different to the other. So, but it's tough, guys. It's tough to I feel like we're talking about um things that we've spoken about in the past. And
I'm just,
What's Michael from Poland saying? 3 posts, 3 goals offside. Martinez World Cup form. I agree. I was speaking about him, and that's why I asked the Arsenal fans: do they regret getting rid of him when they did? Because this is a phenomenal goalkeeper on phenomenal form. Even though I hate, yeah, we all hate him. He has to be. I don't mind losing like this. Let's not comment on Cash and Kamara surviving the first yellow. Listen,
I'm not saying
Cash ran out of lives. That's why he was brought off. And Kamara, I agree. I agree. Sometimes you need something to go for you when things are not
actually,
going
Bailey
well for you.
played better than Cash when he came in. Not only for the yellow card, I thought Bailey was more dangerous than Matty Cash. When he
I think
when he
that was the plan. I think the plan with Cash and
picked up to my Jamaicans and
was trying to stifle that side, and maybe they were worried about Udoji and Brennan Johnson on that side. They were worried maybe Matt Cash was to help with that. Obviously, once he run out of lives, then they decided to bring a fresher Bailey. And yeah, I agree, JJ. He looked really good. Bailey's quality player. Douglas.
Bingo, Iggy. This is what we've been fighting on this channel, right? Right. I love him. You know, I have no
Yeah.
beef whatsoever. But the person you know who I'm thinking about, right, would have walked out there, been happy, right? Oh, we played attacking football, right? Right? I don't care if we don't win. They're content of playing entertaining football. You got it. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
Did
of
we
course it
win?
will.
Did we win? Did we win? And like I said, big up to my brother. You know, I know who we know who he is, right? But him and a couple of, we want attacking football. I like attacking football too, but I want winning football. I want
Yeah.
winning football. And for me, right, I'm not devastated because it was entertaining, but I'm not happy. We didn't win. We didn't win. We did not win. And the thing that, I'm sorry I'm going a little rant here, is this, because when January comes around, I don't want to hear names like Brennan Johnson types, right? I want people who could put the ball in the net. Jimenez, Tony, like people who can score, like clinical. I'm just tired of these signings because you're seeing it. You're seeing it, right? And I don't want to be harsh on Johnson. You know, he was in the positions, but the guy's not
We had
clinical.
Johnson, Brian Hill. We had Kulizeski hitting the post.
Yeah.
We had Højbjerg shot that went wide. Listen, we attacked. We attacked in numerous different ways. For one reason or another, the ball didn't end up in the back of the net. Now, if we had looked at it if this had been a situation under Conte, we would have had a back five. We would have had Dyer, we would have had Davis, Emerson playing in the back three with the wing backs. We would have had Højbjerg in there. We would have had Benson. We would have probably not had a number 10 for sure. We wouldn't have had a number 10. We would have maybe a Saar of the situation or a Skip. And then we would have had maybe Son up front with someone. It's just, and we would have played a low block. It would have been a really tight defensive unit. Try and nick a goal here. You're not going to win that game. You can win games playing well, and we have done that up until we had the players that are first of all good enough to suit this system, that and they fit in a very Postecoglou way. But ultimately, in the final third, we had the quality in Madders, in Son. Yeah, we had the quality. They scored goals. Goals win you games. Today, we didn't score the goals that we create. Certainly, we didn't convert the chances that we created, which often are goals. And out of all the statistics, like I said before, the one that matters the most is in the top left-hand side of the TV. The score. Your goals win you games. You can dominate games, but if you still allow your opponents on the ropes back into the game, because that's the only thing they'll look at. Yeah, we got battered this half, but we're still in the game. We're losing 1-0. They've had chances to score 3 or 4. We're still in the game. We get an opportunity. We know we're physically better than them in set pieces and corners. We just need to pull one back. They did that bang on half time as well. Do you see what I mean? There are moments in the games where you can even take it and win it, not take your opportunity, allow your opponents on the ropes to come back at you. But you got to, when you've got the team on the ropes, you got to finish him off like a boxer. Once he's hammering you in the face and he's on the ropes, you got to finish him off. If you allow them to come back, he just needs one knockout punch and you're out. So it's the same sort of thing, guys. And today we lost because they put away the two. I think they had two chances from Pau Torres, one chance from Watkins, and I think one was cleared on the line again by Watkins. They had two or three situations they scored from. We
Yeah.
had 5, 6, 7, 8 situations. We scored one goal. Ultimately, that's the
Yeah,
that's
And
it.
I
now,
think
this-
I just want to comment on this. Sorry, Murray. This one that what Scott brought up. I think the problem again is that we have discussed this we many times in the past as well. The problem is not that actually we are not playing good football. Even like let's say we have said this numerous times as well under the other managers. When the managers have the right tool, when they have the right players playing for their systems, they do play good footballs. They do score goals. You do see goals coming in Mourinho's Chelsea as well back in those days when he had the right weapons. You do see Conte's Inter scoring that kind of goals. Even the same thing that we saw today, I think if Postecoglou had Madison, Son, and all those players that are injured, we could have seen actually a lot more goals coming in. The coordination between the players could have been a lot more better. So that argument that or that narrative that oh yeah we need to play the attacking football. I think to play that football, every manager needs the right tools. And once the manager doesn't have the right tool, one or two things go missing here and there. I think you won't see that really. The coordination just goes off all the way. And I completely agree with Scott and both Michael here as well that football is no good when you have certain tools missing in the toolbox. It's a toolbox that needs to be changed, and Levy needs to pay a big attention to this in January if we are going anywhere in future. Yeah.
yeah. The only thing is, it's half and half, Michael. I'm only half away from you, in the sense of clearly VDV. And remember, first of all, injuries happen. That happens in it happened in City, suspensions. Miss Rodri, Arsenal, whatsoever. They miss players. I say the previous comments are half and half in the sense of, and the person who breaks it down very well is Saba. Even without starting 11, there were times, like, I'm going to be honest with you, we weren't clinical.
Yep.
We weren't clinical. Like, it's not because Chelsea and beyond, like, no, there were signs before. There were signs before the Luton game, the
Sheffield game.
The Sheffield game. There'd be games where it's like there's no quality up front other than Son. There's no quality. So it's like,
we're heavily reliant on Madison and Son to score the goals.
The
other
I
two
think
guys, Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson, for the positions that they're playing, they should be chipping a lot with a few more goals. Somebody from midfield. I'm not saying the defensive mid, but maybe the centre mid like Sarr. He could be chipping in 1 or 2 goals. We don't have that in him.
Yeah, and
we don't
Sarr
have that.
has regressed, and I've told you this.
No, Sarr does that. Sarr does that.
Sarr has regressed, and that's why I was happy that Bentancur is coming back. I'm like, yeah, Bentancur is coming back. The Bentancur, our best midfield, I think, is Basuma, Madison, and Bentancur.
Exactly.
In my opinion. But you can see the signs, right? Because the quality, we have quality, but it's not, in my opinion, big six quality. But, when, the first 10 games, undefeated, but you can see the cracks. This is where context comes in. So, yes, we beat Villa with Romero and VDV. Yeah, because Ollie Watkins is not having Pau Torres just ran past Davies, So, no, I get that, but I think it's half and half. I think it's really half and half.
Mari, you bring up a great point since you mentioned about VDV and Romero, and you can see where the cracks are there. Like after VDV and Romero, who is the center back that we can say that yes, having that person in the starting lineup, we are confident that yes, that center back will save our ass. Nobody. Seriously, like that's where Levy should have paid attention. That if one of them goes out,
argument, Elias,
your
that's the
backline goes
argument,
worse.
The argument was that when we signed Van der Ven, it's not like, look, I can go back and say everything that we said. We needed to sign two centre backs, not one, two. We needed Van der Ven and another centre back. We were talking about Soba. We were talking about so many players last summer. But the bottom line was we needed to sign two centre backs to avoid this situation happened. It's unfortunate that Romero suspended and Van der Ven at the same time, because really Romero should be available, even if Van der Ven isn't, because he shouldn't be suspended with exactly the same game that Van der Ven
Iggy,
does his
this
day.
is the myth.
But we needed another centre back. We always
Iggy,
did.
Iggy,
Exactly. That's the same thing that I'm
this is
saying.
the myth. This is what I'm arguing about. This is the myth I'm arguing about, right? The starting 11 is okay.
Yeah, we always said that. 11, 12.
Okay, but it can be much, much better because in that starting 11, Saar, take him out, Bentancur. And then we need a replacement for Brennan and Kulu.
Yeah, but Mari, by bringing Bentancur in, you've strengthened the bench by putting Saar there. By bringing another right winger who perhaps what's the guy that scored an incredible guy against Luton yesterday? Olise? Somebody, yeah. Imagine having someone like him on the right, and Kulusevski strengthens your bench. What I'm trying to say is that we need to extend the 11 or 12 with quality. So when you do have situations like that, you can have Kulusevski coming on. You can have Saar coming on. And it still doesn't, your levels do not drop. They stay there because you have good squad players. Our problem is that we have a very good first 11, 12 players, which is what Amin 1999 is referring to. But after that, the drop-off is massive. That's always been in our squad. It's just because it's been back here. But now with the injuries, it's all come at the front for. That's what it is.
And that starting 11 can be better. Like I said, for me,
you can always improve the team. Always.
Brennan,
you can always. There's always a room for improvement.
Not clinical. Kulu, I'm gonna be nice and say he needs to get back to when he first got to us levels, you know, and then Saar. So for me, the start 11 is it's okay, but like I said, there's more that we need to do, you know, and so it's like I said, man, it's January comes around, we're going to see what happens, and it may even take it to summer in regards to.
But they're already setting the foundation, man. They're already telling us that there's not enough money to be spent. There's not going to be a lot of players coming in. They're slowly they're throwing out these little comments left, right, and center. They're telling us that there might be a little bit of business happening towards the end of January. So already they're throwing these little things in there. I don't know, guys. Look, I know where the problem lies. For those of you in the chat that said that, I'm aware, man. This is something that was been going on for a while. I just said that this team will come unstuck the moment we had a few injuries or absentees for whatever reason, and it's come to surface. Up until we had them, yeah, perhaps we wasn't playing great every single game, but we was getting results, or at the very minimum, we was very much in games, even the big games. We was very much alive right until the end. And, you know, right now, perhaps moving forward, Kulusevski, playing through the middle. Perhaps why not with the likes of Lo Celso and someone holding in. But again, now, if we've lost Bentancur for a period of time now, I don't know. We won't know until tomorrow, the next day, how long Bentancur will be out for. But it's a shame because we just had a little bit of more quality in midfield there in the absence of Basuma, and now we've lost it again. And it just seems to be like it's an ongoing theme. But you cannot just put it down to unlucky injuries and suspensions are part of it. Mari's right. Injuries and suspensions are part of football. Maybe the manner of how they come for Spurs, you can say it's a bit unfortunate to lose your both centre halves for the next 3 or 4 games. That's tough for any team. Any team right now in world football that loses their 2 biggest the main centre halves would struggle, unless you're Man City or one of the greatest teams that got so much cover for everybody, they can handle that. But anyone else, you lose your 2 centre halves and your attacking mid, all in one goal. You're not losing them. You're losing them all together. We'll struggle. There's no 2 ways about it. No two ways
It's
about it.
slightly, yeah, I agree with you. That it's slightly
Take away
extra.
Arsenal's two centre backs. Take away their number.
Yeah,
Take away Saka. Take away you. It's a big chunk of anybody's team. If you lose your main spine all in one go, and then you include the suspensions that Bissouma got, you bring in Bentancur, you lose him for injury. The goalkeeper, apart from the goalkeeper, from the new signings, Elias, from the new signings,
yeah,
who we got? Just a goalkeeper. Just a
exactly.
goalkeeper, man. There's no
Yeah,
one
right now
else.
it's only
And
him
Brennan
and
Johnson, they're the new
Brendan
signings.
Johnson.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Brendan Johnson is young. You can't expect much from him. You can't put like a big burden of expectation over a player like him, who's just like on his stepping stone sort of season. And I think we are putting that again. Solomon got injured. We are kind of unfortunate in
And
certain
someone said
regards as
we
well.
had an injury crisis under Conte too. Mark, that was with European football as well as league. Here we're just playing the
Exactly.
league. If we had league and European football, we'd be screwed right now. We would imagine playing midweek now.
And the
A lot of the
kids,
Champions League football playing in midweek. A lot of teams are playing midweek. Imagine now we go into midweek football and then we go back to Man City. God, would be like completely like it's
Yeah,
it's it's,
it's
it's ridiculous situation.
slightly, yeah. Tottenham are the first team in the Premier League.
it's on.
Possible.
No, I would I wouldn't say Spurs is to lose three in a game. Listen, you people, we can lose to games. We wasn't going to get a run of results the way we did in the first 10 forever. We can lose games. You can have it. It's just the way they've all come about. Listen, I'd be okay, and also, I can't remember what show I was on. Forgive me, the person must forgive me for not remembering. But they were saying, like, if you had lost that 13 games, you put 3 defeats in those 13 games, you may have been okay because you think in 13 games, we've lost 3 in between. Maybe we lose it on the 3rd week, 7th week, and the 10th week, you'd be okay. But because it's 3 in a row after the 10, it's what makes it a little bit
By
raw.
the way,
That's all it is.
whenever
Look,
that happens with
my challenge, my aim hasn't changed. I've always said Tottenham for this season, have to go back to Europe. If it's
yep,
Europa
I
or
agree.
Champions League, I've always said that. So if the disappointment has come because people out there genuinely think that we should be challenging for the title, I think that's where the delusion comes in. And it's not a realistic target because we was never competing to win in the league. This team right here is competing to go into top 4, top 6. That's it. No more than that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I completely agree with you on that one. One other thing that I wanted to say was what I wanted to say. I forgot now. I totally forgot what I was about to say. It was something about the league standings as well. Yeah, actually, I was about to say that whenever this kind of circumstances happen with us, like it happened under Conte as well. Like I think we lost like 2-3 games in a row, and the next game after that always City, and somehow we always beat City. So who knows? Next week we might beat City. Just saying, by the way, there's no hope, but looking at the past record,
Everybody has a chance, but to be speaking about beating City so soon
with
after
this kind
just
of
losing
speed,
today, even I'm like, for the ever optimist, even I'm like, you know what? I might have to just leave the City talk to maybe in the midweek, maybe give myself a couple of days to dust myself off, and then perhaps start from Wednesday onwards, start talking about City. But guys, we're not going to go on too long. We're going to go on. We're gonna round it off to about an hour. We're gonna 7-8 minutes before we finish up.
Oh, Everton.
what
That's
happened?
Mari's watching the Everton game. I'm hearing there's a lot of a good game, but I can't focus. But what I want to do, guys, before we finish
justice
off,
for Everton. Justice for Everton.
we're just to finish. We was doing that a little bit at half time, Mari, but we didn't really get into it. Let's have a little. Obviously, Man City Liverpool was 1-1. Burnley West Ham 2-1 to West Ham. Luton beat Palace 2-1. Newcastle thumped Chelsea 4-1. Forest losing at home narrowly to Brighton 3-2. Bournemouth beat Sheffield United 3-0. And of course, Arsenal was the evening game and they beat Brentford 1-0. What did you make of this weekend results, generally speaking? Obviously, it was a good weekend for Arsenal. They went top of the league, given the fact that they won and Man City, Liverpool both earned a point. Obviously,
We
with ours, yep.
I'll say this: we have a Premier League title race. It's a 3-horse race, It is City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. I think City is better suited to deal with Europe and in the league. Um, and I think City is going to pan out. They're going to get De Bruyne back. They're City. We all know they go levels, but Arsenal will make it tough. But Arsenal's playing Champions League. I think it's going to really affect them the second half. I just don't think they have enough depth. They, in my opinion, they said yeah we got it, but they have had got key injuries, and also too I just don't think they'll be able to handle the two. And Liverpool might be the wild card. Well, Liverpool might be the wild card, and if they ever
Yeah,
get a
I agree.
DM in January, it will be interesting. Chelsea, um, I'll say more Newcastle than Chelsea. Newcastle is showing that hey, you know what? People expect us to drop off. We're not no pushover. So I was really impressed by them. And then kudos to Luton for winning their first home game. Luton is looking to want to survive. They're looking to wanting to stay up, and so that's really really nice to see. I would like to see Luton um, stay up. So those are some of the things I saw um, this weekend.
Elias, tell us what you're thinking, and then we're gonna wrap up the show,
Yeah,
man.
I think the title race is going to be very much between Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. And I think for currently looking at the things right now, City are really coping well, even without their key players, which is De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne is injured. Once De Bruyne is back, I think you'll see City going on a really long winning streak because they are like lacking that creativity. Yesterday, I could see them struggling as well, even with with De Bruyne's absence. In my opinion, Arsenal would lose quite a lot of points. I think in January, given that there is the Asian Cup as well. I think they would lose one or two players there, and then the AFCON as well. They are gonna lose a couple of players there as well, and I think they have the Champions League coming up as well. They don't really have the depth to cope up with both Europe and Premier League, and the two tournaments are also going to affect them heavily. So I would see, and then Liverpool also, I think they're going to struggle. I think, in my opinion, City looks like to be the winner of this season
Mm.
again, once
They're,
again.
they're
I can't see
definitely
another winner
they're still
looking at
they're
the
still the team to
circumstances.
beat. I agree. I think Arsenal and Liverpool will provide a challenge.
But they won't win it.
They're all in the Champions League. It all comes down to how both teams that deal with both competitions, and obviously injuries might come into play and stuff like that. But I agree. I think Man City, squad wise, but also you don't feel like they're full gears yet, and
Yeah,
they're still up there, and they've still got De Bruyne. You're right to recover. Arsenal, I think they're doing the utmost that they can. I think they're doing the maximum that they can. I do feel that they're a striker short. Really, I think if they can add the striker into their squad in the in the winter, in the January winter, I think that will give them a bit more chance. But I do feel that Arsenal can become a more threat in challenging for the league if they
yeah,
pull out of Europe. That's how I see it. It's my personal point of view. People may not agree with it, but I think they'll give themselves more of a chance playing one game a week, going for the title. But they need a striker in. But it's too early to be talking about the league right now. But I agree; those are the three teams that essentially be challenging everybody else. Newcastle, they'll be Champions League football and stuff like that. But I think Newcastle are up and coming. I think they're going to just improve on their team a lot more. And hey, the new Man City on the horizon with that one. And then there's us. I think that's I'll stay by what I've always said. I think we just need to return to Europe. I don't know if it's going to be Europa or Champions League, but I think that's where I'm looking at where we're going to end up, guys. Guys, that's it for today's show. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Big up to Elias and Eugene for coming on the show. Elias, thank you for the super chats in the earlier show. Not forgotten, mate. And your comments. And big up to every single one of you that have joined us on this show and during the watch along. It wasn't the result for us Spurs fans that we hoped for, but nonetheless, it was still enjoyable to spend it with you guys in the panel and with you guys watching wherever you are in the world. And always a pleasure. Make sure you join us tomorrow night for our Monday night show where we'll talk about all the games of the weekend. Of course,
Does
we'll
Will have a
focus.
show tonight, Iggy?
I'm not sure if he's doing what normally Will does a late show. It's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. our time in England. I don't know what time it is where you are in the world, Mari. Forgive me, but it's going to be for those of you Nighthawks in UK that stay up so late. Make sure you look into Will if he does a show. I'm not sure if he's doing that, but check out for the notifications later on. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow night. For those of you join us on the Monday Night Live, would be many of us in the panel, and we'll be discussing all things Spurs. What worked? We'll be hearing, of course, from the two guys, JP and Stel, who were at the game, so they will have a different perception than perhaps us that watched it via the TV. They will have a different feel, and they'll probably have a little bit more info to share with us in tomorrow night's show. So make sure you lock that in, and like I said, smash like and subscribe. And guys, final words from you before I end the stream. As always, forever
TV
always.
out.